But there you as an African, you be seen in the mountain or be seen in the river.
Yes.
Oh, you've gone to collect the marine spirits. You've gone to collect the demons in the mountains.
Yes, sir.
It was, and again, with all due respect, the intention was not to upset anybody. You need to look put your nose underneath your armpit and smell that I'm smelling.
Okay.
So that when we tell you, mfethu ukuthi ikhwapha lakho selinevumba, ungacasuki. Abuse issues that you've gone through, and you find a person who really understands you. You open up to them, you share, you cry, whatever, ding, damn. Now you're looking at the future and say, can I trust this person with all these files that I've given them? Will they not use this information against me in the future? Looking for in life. If that's and giving you what you want, if UPC is not giving you what you want, if Johannesburg and Hillbrow is not giving you what you want, man, you lose nothing. To find your parents, they are the most uniformed people. I want to say, help me. Which families are good to marry? Never marry a girl. Young boy, listen to me well.
Yes, sir.
Never marry a boy, never marry a girl. When you have not seen their grandfather's graves. Because the truth is, what killed the parents will kill you also.
A timely voice.
Adventuality SA presents
The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name.
Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right to the heavens, boy.
The Advent Pod SA.
Well, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Advent Pod SA. And hey, we're broadcasting live from the south of Johannesburg. And guess what? We are up close and personal with the bishop, my elder, Chigaramboko, Buzijena, Joshua Maponga. And we are bringing to you a very special edition in which we are promoting. Guess what? Hey, you have an opportunity right now to have an up and close personal interaction with the bishop himself. As you'll see as it's rolling there on your screen, we're having an event on the 25th of August, 2024. It's simple. What you've just got to do, purchase the book and have this once in a lifetime experience where you sit down with the bishop. But today we are discussing a pertinent issue, shopping skills. My bishop, welcome to the Advent Pod. How are you?
All is well. All is well from the caves and the mountains.
Yes, sir.
And it was quite interesting to view the African battling with a fellow African who is visiting spaces. For crying out loud, if a person flies from England or from Norway or Sweden and they walk these spaces, and they stand by the rivers, they stand by the mountains and get pictures in nature. We call it tourism. It's a tourist. They are adventurous. They are learning.
I'm a wanderlust.
They're just looking at mind.
Yeah.
But there you as an African, you be seen in the mountain or be seen in the river.
Yes.
Oh, you've gone to collect the marine spirits. You've gone to collect the demons in the mountains.
Yes, sir.
It was, and again, with all due respect, the intention was not to upset anybody. I just shared a picture of my walk in the mountains, and people who believe in the Bible that Elijah took time in the mountains, Moses went to the mountains, John the Baptist lived in the wilderness, and Jesus himself spent days in the wilderness. They decided to forget all that and say, but Maponga, you can't go there.
In fact, they're stating that it seems as if he's now living in there by the bushes. But that's fine. Let's engage now. We are discussing the book Shopping Skills, in which you extract lessons for, when one is shopping. And I'm a young man. I want to discuss the first principle in which you state, when you go to the shopping mall, please be clean.
Be clean.
And I'm struggling, and it is juxtaposed with, you once spoke about the mileage. Young people, aesthetically looking amazing. But if you look at the mileage, it's 200,000, and I want to settle down now. What's your advice to the young man who has to choose a life partner, or who has to be a life partner? What's the importance of hygiene? How do I go to the shopping mall clean? Yeah.
We will look at 4 elements of hygiene
Yes.
in a little while, but to make a beautiful introduction, you are going to go to the shopping mall. 2 things will happen. Either you will come back with the goods that you intend to buy, or you'll be arrested at the shopping mall. And either you're going to be pushing the trolley, or you're going to be the commodity that is on the shelf. So I wrote the book with my daughter Shamiso and Tafi. They were still small then, and the idea was, hey, let's go shopping. And I was single parenting then.
Yes.
And I wanted to send some certain lessons across to them. And I would not find a better way than to do a concept of shopping skills. So I spoke to Professor L.P. Direko, and he's arrested now from the University of Northwest, and we came up with a concept of behavior modification,
All right.
where you use a third-party object to discuss a first-person problem. Because when you deal with the problem outside there, people can talk about it easily.
Yeah.
By the time we begin to extract the lessons from there, then it becomes important. And as young people are always going to the malls, I thought, while they're going on the malls, physical malls, Mall of Africa, Central Mall, in your life also, you must have just that idea that actually life is what I'm doing right now and what's going to be happening when I get there.
Right.
So I thought one of the first principles before you go shopping, as a matter of principle, bath first. Just bath.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to end up on TikTok as that guy with smelling armpits.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up on TikTok with that guy with blankets on his hair. You don't want to end up with TikTok in your pajamas. And then he just appeared in the mall with gowns. We know some of these young guys
we see them.
who go in the gown. And we all talk about them, and now we can even make them trend. So the bathing concept was not just of water bathing. I had to look at the 4 elements of bathing. Number 1, which is the mental hygiene.
Right.
The quality of thought, that you thinking processes, the structure of your mind when you're going to the shop. What mindset do you have? What are you going to do there? How long are you going to be there? When is the best time to go there? And the who, the why, the when, the what of the mall. You need to be intelligent when you go to the mall. You don't just end up as a zombie who's just moving and idling up and down. And the cameras these days, they might end up seeing some guys just loitering, stopping everywhere. Hey, there's a problem down there. Check that guy.
Yeah.
He's just aimlessly walking. So we needed the mental hygiene, and that's the cleaning up of your mindset. And I'll give you the 4, then we can discuss around it if you want more explanation. The second one is not just the mental hygiene. I was also looking at emotional hygiene. That's where you talk about the baggage issue. Where you kiss John, you kiss Mary, you kiss Paul, you kiss Brenda, you kiss this. And all these things have a way of putting their signatures and their fingerprints and their on your conscience and on your soul and in your spirit. You become a fingerprint collection center, as it were. And if you are going to be looking for a life partner, I'm saying you better have a good mindset.
All right.
And you better clean yourself emotionally. Because you're going to...
What about, let's talk about ladies. I'm talking about as a young man. I think young men can relate to me. I find a lady here who's been involved with quite a number of young men. And now I have to, instead of being a lover, I'm a therapist.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about why is she bleeding on hands that never cut her? Is it fair?
And the worst part is you become a therapist, and when she's healthy and she is healed, she doesn't want you. Who stays with the nurse? You go to the nurse for healing, and once you're healthy,
You're out.
you pick your bags and go. And this is true even for marriages. You date these people, or they date you, and you have a particular problem, whether it's trust issues, it's mother issues, it's father issues, it's whatever abuse issues that you've gone through, and you find a person who really understands you, you open up to them, you share, you cry, whatever, ding, damn. Now you're looking at the future and say, can I trust this person with all these files that I've given them? Will they not use this information against me in the future? And the chances between 1 and 10 is 3 out of 10 will remain. The 7 will say, I'm now ready to start on my fresh page. So they'll dump you, and you will dump them.
Yeah.
and you start your life somewhere else. So emotional hygiene for me speaks of, are you prepared now to shed off the unnecessary emotional baggage so that you don't make the person that is coming to become a casualty and a victim of fixing the problems that you did in the past. Now, mina, bangenzi so, angenziwa kanje, awenziwa kanje kanjani, because someone once did that to you. So this one now must pay for the crimes that happened in the past. So man, if you have a problem in the past, go back there and fix it. You cannot allow this other person, because you bring your emotional baggage with you into the relationship, and you expect this one to fix it, though they were not there. In some certain cases, they don't even have the details, except the residues of the scars that remain in your emotions.
So you're not a savior.
Sit down,
as a young man.
Sit down with your emotions. Live. And by the way, for young girls, this will be painful. I hope it won't trend in a bad way. Don't use your waters as a baptismal pool. It's not a lot. Leave that to us pastors.
Okay.
To baptize.
Don't use your waters as a baptismal pool.
You cannot baptize people and use sex as a form of evangelism. You can't do that. This is quite.
So we've got the cognitive hygiene, and this emotional is the next one.
And I also want to look at another way of the social hygiene.
All right.
Social hygiene. How do you begin to interact with the community that is around you? Relationship dynamics. Mother-father relationships, uncle-daughter relationships, because you're going to be finding this in the relationship where you're going. You're not going to be finding an empty room like Adam and Eve, where there's no uncle, there's no girlfriend, there's nothing. You're going to be finding places where, in some certain cases, their children, and they're from your partner or their mothers, complicated and simple, and etc. Drunkards and drug pushers and what. So if you are socially not intelligent, you may find that in your own weaknesses, they would actually be magnified in a space of a relationship. So saying, socially, be intelligent. I cannot give you a better passage to explain that except Luke chapter 2, verse 52. And he says, and Joshua, he grew up in body.
Yeah.
So we need physical hygiene.
Okay.
That I will not end with. That one is number 4. Where it's not just, if I say go and bath, people are just thinking of putting water on their bodies. Yeah, of course, that's important.
Okay.
So in shopping skills, you're actually looking at personal hygiene. The external hygiene, as it were, as a first bus stop. Clean up yourself. If you believe in cutting your hair, cut it. If you believe in keep it clean. Brush up your teeth. Do the nice little thing. People want to associate with clean things. So it's physical hygiene, and he grew up physically. It's mental hygiene. He grew up mentally. He grew up in favor with God. That's spiritual hygiene.
Okay.
That's even deeper. And he grew up in favor with men. So those are the 4 kind of parts that you must have. The emotional part we can combine with the mental part, but I will literally be looking at your physical look. Is he lookable? Is she lookable? Don't tell me that rubbish of as long as she's Ellen G. White and she knows how to pray. Those who married Ellen G. White are now dating Mary Magdalene. After hours, because Mary Magdalene's got the weave and everything else. So physical looks, yes, they're very important.
They do play a role.
They are not the only thing.
But they play a role.
Actually, that's the point of contact.
Yeah, because I need to find you attractive in order for me to move through. But my bishop, as we conclude, you mentioned social, right, which means accessibility as a gent. And I'll be speaking for the young men out there. There's a phenomenon here where we talk about body count, and which you cover in the book, in which you talk about the mileage. There's a bus traveling from Johannesburg going into Morocco. The passengers are there. Whether they are clean people, they are dirty, they are smokers. They don't pay a thing.
And Nyaope.
But there's Nyaope as well. Yeah. But there comes a very God-fearing man at the end of it all. He now has to pay a ticket.
Full price.
Full price. But we say about to volume they didn't have to volume in order for you to go.
And the question I ask on that particular illustration is, if everyone was eating for free, then why must I pay for what was being given for free? Maybe I must join the queue of those that are eating for free. So respect the last passenger. Sure. And the best gift you can give to anyone is the gift of yourself in your purest form. It's not a gift to your partner. You're gifting yourself to know that this vehicle that I'm carrying, and it's not for males only, it's not for females only, it's for everybody. Because the last passenger must now go through the vomits of the previous drunkards.
Because the other passengers, you said, they will say, Chief, we've been here, so we don't have to ask to come back again.
You found us here.
You found us here, so
This thing. Now, how can you come around and tell us you want to evict the bus? How do you do that? And when I, as an owner of the bus, it's your responsibility to look in your bus and look at your passengers and say, my gents, my ladies, we have had a good trip up to now. Please, can you evacuate the bus? Leave, please. Carry your bags with you. Carry your SMSs with you. Carry your WhatsApps with you. Carry your pictures with you. Please just clean up the bus. And please, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the owner of the bus. And you, as the owner of the bus, you need to respect that last passenger because they're the ones who know the value of this bus.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's tough. And I would say to the young men, to the young ladies out there, I'd rather have no passengers, my elder. Only one.
That's the beautiful part.
Respect my future.
Or even better, to say when the bus takes off, the first passenger who comes in, how about we travel together? For the rest of the journey.
Yes,
and enjoy the sceneries of life. Why must you make 1,000 mistakes and to make the last good decision at the end? Why can't we? And again, when I say these things, many people get offended, particularly the young people. Hey, Maponga, you're talking about us as returning residents. But I'm also looking at the faces of the young people who have not made blunders, who have not made any mistakes, who have not had any vomits on their tables and marks of pems and hairs and soft and free painted on their glasses. People who have not had stamps of marijuana underneath their seats. We owe them a clean message that says, this is your bus. Take care of this bus. And anyone who knocks at the door asking for access in this bus, the question is simple. The journey will be long. Are you prepared? Take your seat in this bus and we drive life together.
Hey.
Personal hygiene, first principle.
Personal hygiene. Before you head to the shopping mall, please take...
I hope you can hear me.
I hear you.
The other gentlemen and ladies,
Yes.
their things still smell even after they have left the room.
Hey, that's a bishop. That's a bishop. And if you want to get
enukayo ungasekho umnikazi wayo. Kube nesende linukayo umnikazi wayo angasekho kumuka isende apha endlini. Amanye yogeza manje bafana amanye yogeza manje.
That's a bishop right there, you know. Well, if you want to interrogate him, why don't you purchase the book and let's meet on the 25th of August. Principle number 1, before you go to the shopping mall, please take a bath and stop offering your husband's leftovers, yet your boyfriend's the first fruits. Principle number 2 on the way. Thank you. Well, we're back again and we are with our favorite bishop, our resident bishop on the Advent Pod. I'm Kahano now. And we're going to tackle principle number 3. Principle number 3, my good bishop, want to understand, when should we go to the mall? In the morning, too early, or late at night? You know, our parents used to beat us or say, why are you coming back home so late? This thing of time, going to places too early and going or coming back from places too late, I think is problematic. Tell us, I think we need some etiquette on how we should deal with this situation, especially when we're going to the mall.
I'll start on a very difficult corner. Where I'm saying, remember these things that we carry between our legs. They don't have a long shelf life.
All right. They have expiry dates.
We'll look at that later on.
Okay.
But they don't have a long shelf life. So when we say time management is important when you go to the mall, on all levels, don't date too early, don't date too late, and bring up your children on the retirement funds.
Yeah.
You want to look at the issue of time and say, when is the best time when these fruits must be eaten? When is the best time when children must be made? Do your own research. You don't have to wait for Maponga to be telling you everything.
Sure.
Just go and Google and see which is the most fertile time for a young boy, a young girl to have children.
Yes.
It's between the ages of and the ages of.
Yeah.
When are we most? Because you wait until you're 45, you're 46, you're going to be beating up children that have Down syndromes, children that are autism. And I'm not saying all of them, but they are prone to some certain health issues and complications. Yes. And then you may say, my life begins at 40. But by the time you're 40, you're firing blanks.
Yeah.
So what life is beginning at 40 when you can't even sustain yourself for a night? So the early and the late, for me, speaks of You looking at your own vitality and say, when is the best time to come to the mall and when is the worst time to come to the mall? So time management is of essence so that you can do the things that you must do at the time that you must do, with the people that you must do them with,
And the right
and
place.
is the right place that you are doing them, and to give you the right results.
All right. I see. And I think our society suffers from, we are the microwave generation. Everything must happen now. Everything must happen fast. I don't think we appreciate delayed gratification. Do you want to talk on how maybe we can help young people like me who say, hey, Fundis, things are moving quickly. Now I want to make things happen now.
No, it's fine to have your fast foods. It's fine to have your sweets and your ice creams. And,
Yes.
it's fine, but when you look at health in its totality, that is not food. That's plastic. Yes, you'll have your stomach full of food, but your body empty of health. It's possible to have a full stomach, but sick. So the issue of time management for me, there are some tears that you don't need to cry because of you've been able to manage your time. There are some venereal diseases and syphilises and gonorrhea that you don't have to suffer because you are managing your time. There are some hospital bills of contraception and complications in contraceptions and terminations of that you don't have to suffer. So for me, time management says if you are a young person, how about enjoying the problems of young people, which are passing exams, my shorts are no longer fitting, my body is not looking that nice. But once you add the adult world on top of your young body, you might now start dealing with adult problems. And yet the machinery that you are using is too small. In some certain cases, you don't even have the capacity to deal with the problems that you have started. Boom, your girlfriend is pregnant. Okay, fix it now. What about 30,000 damage? Okay, what about napkin? Do some more exam room more and the girlfriend says, hey, I'm an Afghan, apparently, no busy, I'll say. Now fix it. You are struggling to buy your own underwear and your own socks. So timing for me is not just about you spreading yourself and spreading your risk, but it's also you are giving yourself a gift when you are well timed. Because then you are allowing yourself to do an Ecclesiastes 12 nicely, which says, young man, enjoy the days of your youth. So imagine what happens. Of course, I don't want to talk about the rest, but enjoy the days of your youth. So what happens? What destroys the happiness in the days of our youth? What happens? When we begin to worry about adult things.
Prematurely, that is.
And even your mind does not have capacity to deal with these adult things that you've now put on your table. That's why there's dropouts at schools. In some certain cases, even suicides. Even drug and substance abuse. The young boy is so stressed about his relationship, he can't help it. Come on, give this guy some bells. I just need something. Some start experimenting with drugs, with marijuana, and to deal with the issues. Why? Because you have overloaded. And my recipe for depression is when you take the problems of yesterday and the anxieties of the future, and you load them on today. That's an overload. You will crack, young man.
Surely.
Let yesterday deal with herself. Let tomorrow deal with himself. And today. So yesterday is your younger brother. You can handle that. Tomorrow is your elder brother. It's bigger than you. But today is your age mate.
Okay.
Fight to win.
Fight to win. Beloved, I'll just take an ad break here to remind you that we are shooting and we are having the bishop himself up close and personal on the 21st of August. Make sure you don't miss it. The link is down below.
And this is a family show, by the way.
Indeed.
This is a family show. I would love young people to come.
Everyone.
I would love their parents to come with, because we want to help them also change the language in their own homes. When parents are asking their children as they are going out in the evening, I want to hear a father saying, do you have your list with you while you're going out for the party tonight? We need to start checking on each other in a language in the 21st century that we can begin to grow up young people that are responsible.
Indeed. So fathers, you're welcome. Mothers, you're welcome.
Uncles. And stepmothers and stepfathers and side chicks.
Anyway, as we wrap up the conversation for this one, let's talk about this this whole thing of now having not done things at the right time. And then you find yourself now at an age where you're supposed to be mature, but you now, act like immaturely. And you start saying, no, now I'm beginning life at 40, like you said. Now I'm starting to wear skinny jeans because now I didn't get the opportunity to do those things when I was younger. And now I'm chasing mini skirts at an age where I'm supposed to be chasing corporate deals. What happens there in the psychology?
You put it in a beautiful fashion.
Yes.
And it comes back exactly where you started. That time management issues. I have always been an advocate that young people must enjoy and live being young people.
Yes.
So that you leave nothing behind. I did rough sport in my early days. I did my boxing, I did my weightlifting, I did my marathons, I would do my 75 kilometers a week kind of thing. I punched bags for 6 years. I did my boxing.
Yes.
And I always listen to all these young people come up online and say, hey, Maponga G, we want to come in for a boxing match. And sometimes I look and laugh and say, okay, I'm too old, of course, to do that. But I think I still know a thing or two. You may lose a bit of your few teeth.
Don't tempt the bishop.
but again, it's the physical growth of a body.
Yes.
It's not always proportional to the mental growth, to the emotional growth, to the psychological growth, to the financial growth of the person. So at the end of the day, you might find someone already in the... So they are right. When they say life begins at 40, they are late comers. They are still dealing with quite a couple of issues. And if they are aware that I need another 20 years to grow up, I would respect those people. Sure. I would respect them. But in all fairness, where were you? Where were you at that time? Because you were doing something. Yeah. And now you're compensating at the wrong time. And most likely you're going to be missing the most important part. Now here you're at 40, you're at 60, and you're now chasing 16-year-olds, you're now chasing 10-year-olds, you're now getting into, because in your head, a 10-year-old actually understands you more than you're 60.
What do you think about yourself? Yeah.
Pedophiles are actually psychological. Issue. Even I don't want to get into psychological and things because I'm in trouble with these same-sex marriages. But even in some certain cases, I'm not saying all of them.
Yes.
Those who would find themselves attracted to men, and they said, maybe they never had an opportunity to grow up with other men. Maybe they never had an opportunity to grow up with other ladies. I'm not saying all of them. But psychologically, there could be a group right there that cannot relate, or they were abused by women and they now don't want anything, they want to associate with men.
Yeah.
Now it changes itself into a sexual preference of some sort. So the question is, what were you doing? Because what you are doing now will surely have a direct impact in your adult age then. So we always use the now to prepare for the then. So that you end up not doing, you're having a big body, but in a young girl's dress and in a young boy's mind. It must be proportional. Sure. Grow your mind, grow your emotions, grow your society, and grow your spirituality.
Indeed. And I think safety is important. Being found and around the malls very late at night. Guys, be safe. This is South Africa. It's not safe. Go to your malls at the correct times.
And sometimes when you get there late also, your vision
is blurry.
It's no longer as clear. And you would buy things in these neon lights of red, yellow, blue, and coming in with lots of flashes in the discos there. It's half in and half out, and you think you are looking at a yellow bone, my brother. You think you are looking at... I have a true story.
So,
a true story. A guy who got a girlfriend and went to kiss the girlfriend, and on hugging and putting hands elsewhere, he discovered, oops, my brother, he is holding weapons of mass destruction. but the reality is, how much can you see?
At night.
So I want to advise and say sometimes avoid shopping at night. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to shop during the day
when everyone can see
when
you.
the weaves are off,
yes.
The eyelashes are missing, that facial teeth, that facial breast, and etc. are far away. A person is more, and it's important.
Yes. Sir.
Never marry a girl, young boy. Listen to me well.
Yes. Sir.
Never marry a boy. Never marry a girl when you have not seen their grandfather's graves. Because the truth is, what killed the parents will kill you also. So before you say I do, go and read the epitaphs. Born 1922, died 1935. Born 1925, died 1928. when you can see what's wrong with this lifespan here. What is the issue? What killed this one? It was diabetes. What killed this one? High blood pressure. This one, this one, this one, and here's the boy coming around with a nice suit. But you can see there's a violence that is written on those graves.
Yes.
And of course, when I get into that space, they become very spiritual.
Indeed.
That it's not just about marrying and going out with the physical body. Sometimes there are spiritual baggages that people are coming up with. And do it on the time management, do it early.
Sure.
Please take your time to go when there is light, when you can see what's happening, when you can read. If you can trust your eyes, take your mother, take your aunt, take your uncle. See, I've seen something there. Four eyes are better than one.
Indeed.
You feel check.
Yeah.
Hey, what's it? You go there, you find there's a crow. There's not even one cow or a goat in the family. Grass is growing into the kitchen. And there's a lady there, there's a boy there who is coming from this house. And they want to marry you. Then you, and these things are for free.
Yeah.
So when you use your time, it's not only your time in terms of looking at yourself, but when I was about to get into serious relationships. Guys, I will not say it louder. Stop getting involved and invested emotionally, mentally, and economically when you are not sure of the goods that you are going to be buying. You are going to be heartbroken. When you discover you have over-invested in something that is totally useless and far away from you, and you don't even want to be associated with it.
Yeah. That's principle number 3, right here on the Advent Pod.
It's in principle number 3.
Do not go to the shopping mall too early. Do not go to the shopping mall too late.
Don't.
Indeed.
Don't give them the finger too early. And don't do it too late. I like that part there.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eldership.
All right, welcome everyone. Speaking now is Muledi. And so, my bishop, you have talked about bathing or showering, depending on what your ablution facilities are, before you go to the mall. And now you are there. Or let's say before you go there, right? Because there's a principle that you speak on, which is that before you go to the mall to shop, you must have a list of the things you want to buy. So take us through that, because, shopping is something that especially we men struggle with, because we get...
And I hope you can hear from your language. When you say we men, so inside every man, there's also we men.
Interesting.
That's why at church we sing hymns and not hers. And that's a good sermon, we say amen.
Okay, yeah.
The issue of writing a list, and I was very intentional when I put up this book to say it's not just about what you are going to do at the mall, because most likely what is going to happen at the mall is determined by what you did before you came to the mall.
Okay.
So preparation is prior and profound and most important before you get to the mall. So over and above, now that you're bathed and you're clean, doesn't matter whether you want to bath first or write the list first, you're still in your safe space where you can decide what comes first and what comes next. So I'm not necessarily interested in the process, but this entire volume of the first part of the mall is in the comfort of your own home.
All right.
And the issue of writing your list at home, you're going to be looking at the things that you need. You're going to be looking at the things that are missing. You're going to be looking at the things that are finished. And if you have a kitchen, you're going to be opening up your fridges and see what has been depleted. You're going to be opening up your pantries and see if you still have enough mpupu, enough beans, dried foods and all this stuff. You're going to get into your bathroom and see if toothpaste is there. You're going to go to your toilet and see if tissues are there. The dangerous part of not having a list is that you have done it, I have done it, where you simply discover things are missing in the house. And bring, you run to the shop.
Now you're back from the shop.
You're going to the shop. You're going to buy everything that is not important. And end up buying other things that were not. You come back home and discover, how? I forgot the bread. Oh, toothpaste, I go for tissue. And then ask, what were you doing at the mall? So the value of the shopping list for me is not just a physical shopping list, but it's actually prioritizing what are the most important things that I will need.
That you will need.
And as any young man who is getting into a relationship, you need to have those deal breakers. You cannot have no milli in your house and children must go to school tomorrow. And then you forget the critical thing, which is bread.
Yeah, which is where all things emanate, and we need it. So now you also talked about, this issue of you realize that there are some things that you needed, but you didn't get there, right? But there's also, you got too many things because you didn't plan, right? So this aspect of shopping more than you needed to.
I love the way you're bringing it out
get.
there, because you're bringing a very important word there, which is planning.
Yes.
And again, let's be thorough on the planning physically for shopping.
Yeah.
Then we can maybe extrapolate that on the thorough planning when it comes to a relationship itself. And then we can parallel those two things together.
Yeah.
You're coming from a home, for example, where it's a single mother home.
Yes.
There are genuine deficiencies right there.
Right there.
Because a father figure is missing. You are not used to be hearing instructions as a young lady from a man. The only time you see your father is on WhatsApp, is on a funeral, in some certain cases, is on birthdays, or you actually have stepfathers and boyfriends that have come in. Your father has nothing to do with you. La-di-da, la-di-da. It's all a bag of issues.
Okay.
Critical. Now there you're going to be looking for a husband.
Yeah.
And boom, you're going to be looking for yourself for an alpha male
Okay.
who gives instructions,
Yeah.
who
The dominant.
who takes no prisoners. And you're going to be such a fragile young lady. The opposite is true.
Yeah.
The boys who could have grown up without a father or grown up without a mother. So you need to, before you can even go. Hence, I always say, deal with your demons in private,
Okay.
so that when you're in public places, you have dealt with them.
They don't show up.
You kneel in private, then you can stand in public.
Hey, powerful.
And you need to look in you put your nose underneath your armpit and smell that I'm smelling.
Okay.
So that when we tell you, mfethu, ukuthi ikhwapha lakho selinevumba, ungacasuki. Because we must be telling you something that you already know. You must go when you wake up and smell if your breath. And if you know that you have not brushed your teeth, and someone has got guts like me to tell you, hey mfethu, umlomo wakho uyanuka.
Yeah.
Ungakwati. Kodwa ukwazi uba nixabene ne-teeth brush.
I must have seen it myself.
Kufanele usho wena self ngathi umlomo uyanuka wathi mfethu. Sorry man, I was in a hurry.
Okay.
I should have brushed my teeth. Now that's maturity.
Yeah.
Because you have evaluated your weaknesses, you have evaluated your shortfalls, you have dealt with your list, and you know as you are getting on the marketplace what could be the deficiencies that I have. Many of what we call tempers, unfaithfulness, untrustworthiness, he's cheating, he's stubborn, he's unloving, he don't buy flowers, doesn't understand my love language, he want all this bag of beautiful words that we speak. People are actually telling you, these are my deficiencies. And I'll tell you something that is shocking. You will never go out looking for what you have.
Okay. You look for what you don't have so that you're completed.
Then if you want to see the problem, test your partner. But unfortunately, all of you are watching the podcast, so the trick won't work. But if you know that your partner is not watching the podcast, then trick them. Right? Bring 2 pieces of paper and say, here is yours, here is mine. What are your expectations from me?
Okay.
What do you want from me? They are going to write everything that they are missing.
Not what is already.
No, it's nothing to do with you. I need a partner who is loving, who is kind, who is loyal, who is what. And then you say, okay, this is what I want from you.
Yeah.
And then you look at the person and say, but if you want all these things, do you have them?
Yes.
Because you don't have them.
Because you don't have them.
That's why you want
Maybe
them
you need them to be
from me.
Yeah.
Because if you had them, you would not be demanding them from a third party. So actually those lists reflect you more than they reflect the other party. And writing the list, therefore, for me, it's a personal CV.
So it's not about defining someone else, but defining what you need.
Don't look for the right life
Very
partner.
personal. Yeah.
Be yourself the right partner.
All right. So very interesting. There's an aspect here also of you cannot go to the pub if you want to marry a pastor. So basically where you look matters. So the mall is big. One person says that the reason why the mall is called the mall is because you don't go to one shop, you go to them all. But no one really goes to all the shops in a mall. You know what you want to buy, and you go to the shop.
And your list guides you.
Yes, your list guides you.
You cannot be saying you want to go and buy milli and you're going to a liquor shop.
Yes.
You can't go to Tops to go and look for tomatoes and onions.
They are not there.
So again, it's important that you guide yourself in the mall.
Yeah.
And for me, that word you used, which is planning,
Yes.
And failing to plan is planning to fail. So before you go, get out of the house. Again, we come back to number one. Where are you going?
Yeah.
What do you want in the mall? And where will I find it? So
Yeah.
it reduces your time also on the shop floor. It cuts down unnecessary. If you are going for the garden, then just walk to the garden and get your tools and get out of here.
Yeah.
We don't want tourists in the mall here. Get what you want and get out of here.
So the time you spend looking or trying to shop is clearly defined by whether you planned well. So someone without a list spends a shorter time in the mall.
Without a list, you spend more.
You spend more time.
Yeah.
Not just more time, but more money.
And a nuisance. And a nuisance in the shop. Running up and down, going there, picking that. I forgot that. Oh, by the way, this
Yeah.
and this.
Now you're cutting the line also.
You're pushing people. Now we who are more organized and we are walking there and picking up our things. We are looking at you. What's wrong with this guy here? No, they're shopping from their heads. So you cannot just get there and I'm gonna go to varsity. I'm gonna find a partner there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a church. I'm gonna look for it. What are you looking for?
What are you looking for?
You're looking for a 3-6-8. You're looking for a thin one. You're looking for a fat one. You want a happy one. You want a musician. You want an LNG white.
Yeah.
You want a pastor.
What do you want?
You want what do you want? You want a fake. You want pure. You want natural. You want Sutu. You want Kosa. You want Nigerian. Here you're in the mall.
And all the things that can distract you are there.
And very many.
And yes,
And very
and now
much.
you lose direction because you see right now what you think is perfect. Tomorrow you see more perfection.
And again, I
Perfection is
don't want to
gradual.
become prescriptive that your list is written in stone. It's yours.
It's your list.
You are free to
All time.
change the things that you want on the list. It's your choice.
Okay.
But I just want to say, do you have the discipline to say before you see something, you can envision it
Okay.
and plan for it.
So that when it shows up.
So when it shows up, you don't change your mind. When you have found what you want, because this is you, and this is the most beautiful part. This is you saying this is what I want, and it's not yet there, and you go out there and then you get distracted by what you don't want, as if someone forced you to choose what you did not want.
Yeah. But now you think you want it.
Now you think you want it
Because you
because
saw it.
then it also challenges you to say, were you right when you wrote this list in the first place? Were you honest with yourself? Because if you were honest, really, that this is what I really want.
I know. I don't think there's more to say on this issue of organization.
Organization,
It is very
plan,
clear.
and be
Plan,
disciplined.
Write
Yeah.
your list and stick to your list. If you change it, not too much. Thank you, sir.
Well, we're continuing with the bishop and we're going on principle number 5.
5 or 4?
It's 5.
It's 5. Okay.
So number 5, when you enter a shopping mall, look around, all posters, toiletries, snacks, meat, washing, milk, and etc. Can we talk on that principle, my bishop?
On this principle, I was more or less interested in how do you map your shopping, your mental view of the mall. And if you are intelligent like me, then the layout of the mall itself will guide the way you're going to be doing your shopping list. Particularly if you've been in this mall for some time. And if you want to reduce your time in shopping, you might want to visit a certain mall and just study the layout, okay? They put this here, they put that there, they put that there, they put that there, and that over there. So when you're writing your list, then you are able to meticulously and systematically navigate yourself around the shopping mall. Rather than having to run, as we said earlier on, to be running from that end, because your list to be guiding you. Okay, now, Joalo, Kibaklab Road, to the bakery. Oh, what a shoe polish, to the other end. No, want some rolls. You must run back here again. Oh, I forgot toothbrush. The order that you put on your shopping list must marry
The layout of
the layout of the shop, so that when you get to each shelf, you apply yourself to the shelf and collect as much as you can. So I'll give you a simple layout of the shop. There is what we call religious expressions and spirituality. There is the shelf for education and personal development. There is a shelf for socializing and the network. There's a shelf for culture and appreciation. There is a shelf for sports and recreation and entertainment. There is a shelf and as you navigate around your mall, the question is, what kind of a partner are you looking for? Are you going to only be dealing with one corridor of a religious corner or a cultural corner or a sports corner and etc.? So the looking of a life partner or the collecting of attributes from your life partner that you will need. You then need to take your partner and expose them to these various spaces which you consider to be deal breakers for you.
Okay.
So you need to know the shopping mall. What am I saying? You need to know how to do a little bit of human psychology. Little bit. So that you can map up the lies that people tell you when they say, I love you.
But then you also speak on the fact that if you don't know, you can't find something, you need to ask for help. Right.
That's a beautiful principle on its own. Because then in every shop, there are all these beautiful people dressed up in uniforms, with ribbons sometimes, with certain types of hats, or with over, they're talking to each other. And if you can't find what you want, why are you frustrated? Why are you stomping the ground and throwing your toys like a juvenile kid? I mean, you lift up your hand and say to the shop owners, those attendants in the shops, and say the stewards in the shop, please help me. I'm looking for such and such an item. And the owner of the shop will say, oh, please, sorry, sir, you're on the wrong aisle. Come with me. And they'll take you down the corner there. I'm talking about the concept of counseling, looking for strategic partnerships, looking for professional people who, if you find that you are really struggling to date, you're really struggling to find a good life partner, as we said earlier on, you don't lose nothing. I mean, give you the most beautiful story, the story of Abraham and Abimelech and Isaac and Rebekah. Guess who chose the wife for Isaac? Abraham just gave an instruction. Please go back to Sarah's homestead and go and find myself. Go and find my son a wife. She better be a good woman. Abimelech, a professional, had his shopping list. He had his expectation. And he prayed and said, if I find a woman who is hardworking, number one. If I find a woman who is kind, number two. If I find a woman who is free and communicable, I will find a woman who can take me to their parents and they don't know me and they are willing to risk. If I find a woman, so where will I find this woman? There's a shelf. I'll go to the well. And he sits at the well with his camels. And Rebecca comes, oh, he seemed to be coming from a long distance. And Abimelech is there. Hey, your camels, and they're all thirsty. Can I help you? Abimelech, oh, please. And you know how many gallons a camel drinks? And she worked hard, scooping water for a man to feed up all those camels. Abimelech could have done it for himself, but she did not know she was going through an examination. After that, please come home with me. Abimelech. By the end of the evening, you know the rest of the story, dowry was paid. And because she was willing to risk to take them home, she was not scared to risk to be taken to a home she did not know where Isaac was. There you are. There is a professional person. So the question is, if you look at your mother or your aunt and they're professional people, tell me that your mother or your aunt will make you marry a witch.
Actually, in my culture back in the days,
and I'm glad you're a vendor. So what I'm saying, you can relate to it.
We would send people that side.
Thank you.
To say, go and check for her. If we didn't have a direct thing, if she's coming from the next village, Chauru, we would send people and say, go and assess how those people live in Chauru.
Arranged marriages in Africa.
Can we live with them?
Arranged marriages in Africa were not bad. I grew up in the 70s, where our mothers and fathers would actually adopt each other as mothers-in-laws and sisters-in-law. Because I have a boy here. I say, hey, Mama Zala, please, I won't clean the Because the relationship is already beginning to cook. And these parents know each other better than you know yourself. And the question is, when you can't find what you're looking for in life, if that's ain't giving you what you want, if UPC is not giving you what you want, if Johannesburg and Hillbrow is not giving you what you want, man, you lose nothing. To find your parents. They are the most uniformed people. to find professional, loving, your aunties are your most serviced professional people. I think that time has arrived. I want to say, help me. Which families are good to marry? And the beautiful part when you go that route is that the relationship between parents is already at a mature level. And if there's a problem in the relationship, the communication network and support structures that help you to reconcile and fix problems, which you cannot deal with yourself. You lose your head. But the auntie will tell you, wait, I'll talk to her. And there's nothing as nice as when a boy marries the parents and the girl marries the parents before she marries you.
Wow. And that's it from the bishop. You know, we'll be exploring this and other principles. In my culture, we say, you ask the way from those that are
in front.
Are in front.
But me, I made the back also.
Thank you very much. You can just purchase your
on
book.
the 25th, up and close and personal. You come there at your own risk and bring an extra set of listening tools. And if you don't have teeth, please get yourself a new set because there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But the whole idea is to get all of us talking together, fixing the continent. One family, one person, one young person at a time to create the Africa that we want. Yours truly, Maponga J. Vuzijana Chigaramboko Garamashamba Huda, Chirana Banavanji, Makumangwana Mwisendewe Shana Suweshi Tezas and Kubana and Mangwa Pedon Tambanazo. Mtambo Paru Wakarambo Gizo, Wakarima Wano Chemane, Wanam Shambane Gore. Yeah, I could go on and on, but thank you very much. And we'll be seeing you on the 25th. Don't do what I wouldn't do. If you do it better.
Hallelujah.